Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to do a little bit of work in the shop. It's nothing major, just a quick job. I wasn't going to do a video on this, but I looked on YouTube and I saw some of the videos on this subject are pretty old. One of the ones I found was like 8 years old. So I figured it couldn't hurt to do an updated video on this subject. So what we're going to work on today is on the 57 Chevy. The 57 lost headlights maybe about a month ago. We were at a local cruise-in, and I left the show, and people were flashing their headlights at me. I pulled over and I checked, and I had no low beams. So so I kicked the dimmer switch around a little bit, and the lights came back on. So left it alone. Next time we went out to another show, same thing happened. Headlights again were out. So I pressed the dimmer switch for the high beams, and the headlights, the high beams came back on, but I had no low beams. I figured, well, you know what? I don't drive the car around a lot at night, so I kind of just left it alone. Then again, I went to go to another cruise-in, and boom, all the lights went out. So now I had no high beams, no low beams. So I asked a couple of friends of mine. They all said, it's probably your dimmer switch. Friend of mine that works on a lot of classics recommended that I order one from Napa Auto Parts. While I was there, I went ahead and ordered the car. The 57 has LED taillights, and it has an LED third brake light. And I know they recommend that you replace the flasher, the standard flasher for the turn signals, with a LED type flasher. So I ordered one of those. I ordered a couple of, just because they were cheap, man. These things were like $4. I ordered two regular flashers. The Chevy, I think, needs a flasher. And then I ordered the dimmer switch. Again, my buddy recommended that I order one from Napa Auto Parts. It's part number DS111 from Napa. It was like 20-something bucks. It wasn't expensive. It's for a 1957 Chevy. I had it delivered straight to the house. It was a lot faster than the store could actually get it for me. So this is the part we'll be replacing. It's a dimmer switch that operates the high beams and the low beams. On classic cars, on older cars, this is mounted on the floor, right? And then when you need a high beam or a low beam, you just use your foot and you kick it and depress it, and boom, there you go. On newer cars, it'll be on the turn signal column. You pull back. In some cases, in some cars, you push forward, and you can go between high beam and low beam, right? But on a 57, this is what it uses. This is what controls the headlights. I'm hoping this fixes the problem. If it doesn't, then we're probably going to have to move on to the headlight switch. And I didn't order one of those yet, so we'll probably have to go back and order one of those. But I'm hoping this solves the problem. The reason I'm going to make a video, I'll show you here in a minute. Let's get the Raptor out of the way. Let's get the Chevy out of the way and bring the 57 down. All right, so we left the 57 up on the first stop. This makes it a lot easier when you're crawling around under the dash. Have the car up at work height. So got some of the carpet out of the way, some of the jute insulation out of the way. And I'll show you guys the reason I wanted to make a video on this particular situation. So this plate here, the switch mounts to this plate. The switch has some threaded tabs that these bolts thread into. This piece here bolts to the floor. And the problem I'm having is these little screws. Man, this car was restored about 17 years ago, but I think they might have not replaced this because these screws appear to be original. There's one here and one here. And man, I tried all kinds of different screwdrivers to try to get them out. I even tried in this one, I don't know if you can tell, I tried drilling it out, and it was a real hassle. I wasn't going to be able to drill this one out. So you got to remove this plate with the switch or I think you loosen the switch, remove the plate, and then you can replace the switch. So yeah, it's a bit of a hassle, man. So let me show you what I did to get these out, or what I'm gonna do and why I'm making the video. In case any of you guys have a Tri-5 Chevy, I'm pretty sure it's probably the same on all Tri-5s, the 55, 56, 57. And then if you guys run across this is kind of how I did it. So let me show you guys what I'm gonna do. So what I did, I went down to Northern Tools, and of course Milwaukee seems to make just about everything, and I bought one of these Milwaukee multi-tools. Now by now you're probably guessing already what we're gonna do. So the plan is to take the multi-tool and see how it's got this little blade they make. I didn't know this. I thought these were mainly for woodworking. So I didn't know, but this is what we're going to do. So the plan is to pop this little blade on there. It's a titanium blade for metal. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to pop the head off those little screws. I already tried this on a couple of different bolts and screws. And let me tell you, man, it cuts right through them really quick. I mean, it cuts right through them like you were cutting with a saw. Again, you guys have probably already used these. This is my first time actually using one of these. You know, I'm old school. We use drills and saws and cut off wheels and whatnot. But yeah, so we're going to try to just chop the head off those screws, pop the plate off, and then we're going to spray a little WD-40 in what's left over, the little studs that are going to be left over. And we'll get some pliers and see if we can just unscrew them. They should come right off. I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure they're not, you know, rusted in there. But worst case scenario, we might have to, you know, just cut them flush with the floorboard and then just drill them out anyway. But for now, we're just going to try to pop the head off those little screws. This gives us, with the tight space that we have in there, this gives us plenty of room. So yeah, let's give it a shot. See how it goes. All right, so let's see how this works out. Try to get enough lighting in here. And let's see if we can pop these, pop the heads off these little screws.
Two hours later.
All right, we got the plate off. Didn't want to bore you guys with all the details, but we did manage to chop the head off one of them, and then we shaved the head off of one of them, and that allowed me to actually get a screwdriver in there, and I was able to turn it out and get that one out. And then the other one, there was a third one that was kind of hidden right here underneath the look like some, I don't know, look like some fiberglass or something that was kind of hidden under there. So we got that one out too. And this, good thing we got this one intact, because now I know what screws to put in there. And then I did find underneath everything, I found another screw. So I don't know, we might be able to use that one. And then the plate, like I said, it's just the plate that the switch mounts to right there. So I'm gonna take this off completely, and then I'm gonna just, I don't know, just for the sake of it, I'm gonna sand this down a little bit, maybe throw a coat of paint on it. And maybe even throw a little bit of paint down here, just so we can stop any kind of rust through anything like that. If I had some Pour 15, we could put some Pour 15 in here to clean that up, but I don't have any. So, but yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and put this on, and then we need to test it to make sure that that's actually the problem.
A little longer than a few moments later.
All right, so that didn't work. Apparently it wasn't the dimmer switch. We found there is no power going to the dimmer switch, so the only other thing that it could be is the headlight switch, which we removed with this special tool. If you guys don't have one of these, man, I suggest you guys order one. But yeah, so anyway, looking at the headlight switch, you see that little white stuff in there? That tells me something got toasty. Something definitely blew out of this thing. This is an aftermarket piece. Obviously, it looks too new. I didn't order one from Napa. I should have. Fortunately, I did check with my local AutoZone and the AutoZone warehouse, and they do have one in stock. I'm going to go ahead and just go get it and pop it back in, and hopefully that's the problem. I did test power at the connectors under the dash, the connector that goes here, and there is power going to the connector, but apparently the power is just not transferring to the switch. So all right, let's jump in our truck and run down to AutoZone and go pick up one of these bad boys.
Later that night.
All right, well, that took longer than anticipated. As you can see, it's already dark outside. So, all right, so we've replaced the headlight switch, and we've put a brand new dimmer switch now. So now let's test it. On this car, you have to have the key power on. All right, so we got a key power on. Let's turn on the headlights. And perfect. Looks like we got headlights. Now testing the dimmer switch. You look at the little, if I can get in here, look at the little bow tie. When you hit the high beams, the little bow tie turns red. It's pretty cool. So looking at here, we got high beams, low beams, high beams, low beams. Perfect. So I don't know. Like I said, the headlight switch that was in there before, it looked like it was a, just a cheap auto parts store one. So something tells me I should buy an extra one just to keep it in the glove compartment just in case. So yep. Anyway, let's put this all back together. We got to put the headlight switch back where it goes. There's a couple of wires down there that I didn't like that we're gonna have to wrap in tape just to keep them away from anything metal. And then we're gonna put the panel back. We didn't even get to do anything with it. I was gonna sand it and paint it. At this point, I just want to just put everything back together. So let's put it back together.
The next morning.
All right, guys. So it's the next day. This turned into a 2-day ordeal or one whole day ordeal. We started at 2:30 yesterday. It's almost 1 o'clock today. It shouldn't have been this way, but yesterday after we tested the lights, everything was working. We had high beams, we had low beams, everything was working fine. We had a bit of an issue putting the rod back in, and I looked at a couple of videos, and apparently it's an issue with everybody. They struggle to put the headlight, the little bar back in, and man, I don't know what we did. I don't know what I broke. But I heard it click. I heard it, go in, and we've got dash lights. Everything's working fine, but we don't have headlights again. There's no headlights, but the high beams work again. See, we have high beams, but we have no low beams again. I don't know. I'm gonna order this headlight switch. I got it from AutoZone. I don't know if it's just, I don't know if it went out or what. The one that was on the car before looked like also it was from AutoZone. I'm going to order one from Napa, and we're going to put that in because when we first put it in, it worked. It seemed like it was working fine. But after we put everything together, it just stopped working again. So anyway, it should not have gone this long. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll update you guys later once we replace the other switch. Again, this should not have been a big old ordeal. It should have been a quick job just to replace the dimmer switch, and then it turned out it wasn't the dimmer switch. Turns out it was the headlight switch, and then we replaced it. Everything was working great, and once we installed everything back in the dash, we went to try it, and now the low beams don't work again, but I have high beams. Anyway, if you guys have any ideas, leave a comment, man. Drop a comment for me and let me know what you guys think. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.